Hello everyone and welcome back, and in this video we have the Jurassic World Survival Strike Attack Dimorphodon. Bringing in the Dimorphodon for a closer look, we can see the head is nicely sculpted with some feathering details on the back. The head has some nice red detailing, some nice red stripes, and on the bottom we can see the jaw has a really nice purple and red. Taking a look at the top of the figure, we can see some really nice striping detailing. This is the most striking thing about the figure and probably what got me to buy the figure. I think it's just really nice and vibrant and works well on this Dimorphodon. We can see some yellow striping here going into some green. So really, I mean, the shape of these stripes too look really fantastic. You can see the green transitioning into the blue and the same on the other wing. Then on the back sort of wings, we have, or not back wings, but we have some black striping here, which work really well. I really like this over-exaggerated wing bit on the back. Then the tail is pretty long and is, I mean, it's not bendable, but it is made out of a flexible material. And the back obviously isn't painted. It would be nice if this was painted in this same sort of blue color. Switching over to the underside of the figure is basically normal, no paint underneath except for the bottom jaw. This is not, I mean, I thought this was a stress mark at first, but it basically just looks like some of the paint that was smeared or something like that. I tested if it was a stress mark and it isn't. We can see the nice Jurassic World logo there. And then here we have the scan code, and if you want to scan it. So here is the scan code if you're going to want to go ahead and scan it. And yeah, that's basically it for the underside of the figure. Now, moving on to the action feature, there is a button at the top. And now if you press it just a little bit, it does do a normal flapping feature that Mattel has had over the years. But now if you push it all the way down, it will fix back into position. So you can do a constant flapping feature. Now, I prefer pushing the button all the way down and having it go back into position manually. I think this feature is great. I hated how the flapping features on the strike attacks just used to be a press and it used to do that. I mean, I just didn't really like that. But this, it goes, when you push it down, it automatically goes back into position like it's flapping. So, moving on to the articulation, we can see there is jaw. Yes, there's jaw articulation. The teeth are not made out of rubber, sadly. I guess you could say there's wing articulation, but you have to press the button, and that is it for the articulation. So definitely a bit weird that there's no leg articulation or anything else. But, I mean, I guess the action feature could make up for it. There are not many poses you're going to get this figure into. And obviously, pterosaurs don't really have the best budget when it comes to articulation in the main line. Moving on to some quick size comparisons. Here we have the Jurassic World Survival Dimorphodon compared to my other Jurassic World Survival figure, the Carnotaurus. I say it scales pretty nicely. And then here we have another pterosaur, the Rhamphorhynchus. Now, I don't have a Mattel Dimorphodon anymore, but the Rhamphorhynchus will have to do for a rough scale. And yeah, I think this Dimorphodon is actually a pretty big strike attack figure, probably the biggest of the new strike attacks. And honestly, the paint job for this Dimorphodon is just beautiful. So that basically concludes the Jurassic World Survival Dimorphodon figure. Now, I say if this, when this figure does come out in the rest of the world, or if you're in the UK, definitely pick this figure up. I think it's the best strike attack figure from Wave 1. And Wave 2 is going to have some good strike attacks like the Dunkleosteus and Postosuchus. So this Dimorphodon is probably the strongest from Wave 1. Obviously, there are 3 other figures from Wave 1. The Cosmoceratops, Dilophosaurus, which should be Dracovenator. I really don't know why it's Dilophosaurus. Dilophosaurus just doesn't make sense for this in my opinion, but we'll get to the review of the Dilophosaurus and explain that in that review. And then the Nanotyrannus, which is just a re-release and was already released this year, so we're not going to talk about that one. So yeah, this Dimorphodon is definitely the best of the strike attacks, followed by the Dilophosaurus in second place in my opinion. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one, which will probably be another Jurassic World Survival review. The strike attacks and the charging trump Carnotaurus are the only ones out in the UK as of now. Not sure when the wild roars and gigantic thrashes will come in, but when they do, expect reviews on the channel. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe. Peace.